We will start with a small presentation. Then we will look at first we will look at what are the key features and benefits of Algomojo platform. Then we can get into how to do an integration with TradingView. We can use some popular strategies, indicators, price-based action to see how do we integrate them to pass your signals onto your broker account without any intervention. These are typically one-time setups that you need to do. It's pretty simple. We have kept it. We have kept the process as easy as possible, as simple as possible, as you will realize when we do the actual demo. Yeah, in case if you would like to see anything specific or if you want any clarity, please feel free to ask your queries using the Q&A box. Yes. Then in case if anybody is using Amibroker, we can try and have a look at how to use Amibroker for automation. A brief about Algomojo support structure, how to access or how to get Algomojo support during live trading hours or even after the market closes to help you out in terms of doing the setups or when you're running live strategies. In case if you have any doubts or any clarifications required, you can always get in touch with us. We are there to help you out online. Algomojo is a web-based platform. We don't have any uh, mobile app as such for usage. You can use any browser and access a platform and do your trading activities through the web browser itself. We help you to automate your signals so that you need not be sitting in front of your charts or any other platform which provides you with the signals to place orders, either buy or sell. Once you do an initial setup, the system can run without any user intervention or user monitoring also. Uh, we are currently integrated with some of the popular tools like TradingView, Amibroker, MT4, etc., even charting also. Now, if you are running strategies, your own strategies in any of these platforms, you will be able to integrate them with using Algomojo to place orders into your broker account. One major difference I would like to point out is that we are not a strategy provider, or we don't provide any recommendations for investing or trading. Um, it has to be your decisions, your strategies, your indicators, or your studies that you want to use in any of these tools based on the studies that you are running or strategies or indicators that you're running. If you want to place any orders from those starting tools, we act as a bridge and pick up those signals from those starting tools and place orders for you in the account. Right. So we are not a tip provider. We are not an advisory services. We act as a bridge between your charting tool and your broker account for placement of orders automatically. We support multiple brokers. Close to about 29-30 brokers are integrated for API services. I'll share the list of brokers with whom we have done the integrations already. So if you have an account with any of these brokers, you will be able to use our platform for automation purposes. Right? So whatever modules or whatever simple codes are required for automation, we provide that. You need not have to do any extra coding or programming, or you need not have to have any programming knowledge or coding knowledge to use a platform and or automate your strategies. It's a simple plug and play almost kind of platform to help you to automate the signals as such. Any queries, please use the Q&A box to raise your queries. Some of the key features would include things like you can tailor-made what is that you want to trade, whether you want to trade in equities, you want to trade in futures, or you want to trade in options. you want to trade in NSE, BSC, MCX, any of these segments that you would like to trade, all these can be customized as per your trading or investment requirement. Um, we are currently integrated for providing services to place orders or trade in the exchanges based out of India, which are the NSE, BSE, and MCX. We are not integrated with any crypto or forex markets as of now. Maybe going in the future, we might have products which will help you to maybe invest or trade in such kind of instruments. Currently, it is limited to the Indian markets as such. You can trade in options, which can be static or even dynamic. Now, in case if you feel that you want to trade a particular strike price on a given day, you can select that particular CE or PE for the index or for stocks, and any signals coming in from your charting tool, the orders will be placed based on the static strike price that you would have chosen. Or if you want to select the strikes dynamically, whenever the signal is coming in, you want to trade in, say, ATM or ITM or OTM. So based on the time when the signal is received, we will look at what is the spot price for the instrument that you're trying to trade. If it is a Nifty, we will look at what is the spot at that point in time. And if you're trying to place an order in a strike like ITM 5, we will pick up the ITM 5 strike for you automatically and place orders with your broker account. So both dynamic option selection, strike selection, or even a static strike selection is possible in our platform. Um, Using our platform, you can buy options or you can sell options. If you are an option writer, you can do that also. If you want to hedge your main trades in futures or in cash markets using options, you can do that by buying or selling through a hedge facility that is provided in our platform. And in case if your quantity that you're trading is larger than the freeze limits set by the exchange, we will take care of placing multiple orders for you. So you need not have to worry about placing orders manually or um, doing something to else to place multiple orders. If the quantity is huge, we will take care of order splitting and place multiple orders. Uh, in terms of risk management, we have quite a few tools made available. You can set targets and stop loss, and even trailing stop loss. These can be in the form of points or percentage, or even MTM based or profit based targets and stop loss and MTMs as such, and trailing stop losses as such. Now, you can also customize the start time and end time. There are people or traders who would like to trade only in the morning session between, say, 9:15 to 11 o'clock or 10:30 when the volatility is high. Or there are some people who would like to take trades after the morning 1 hour after the market sort of stabilizes after the morning volatility. Or some people don't want to take trade towards the end of the day. So you can set the timings when you want to use the platform. It is all customizable. You can also customize things like if you're trading intraday, if you want to close the MIS orders, say around 2:50 instead of 3:15, you can set the time also. And in terms of swing trade or positional trades, if you're carrying forward the contracts for next week or next month, you can do an auto rollover also. So on the set date and time, the system will look at if there are any positions open of the current contract, and if it has to be rolled over, it will close the current contract and take up the next week or next month's contract as per your selection on the day you're selected and at the time you're selected as such. Right. Now, for all users, paper trading facility as a facility is provided. Uh, and there are 6 paper trades that you can try it out. Just 1 second. 6 paper trades are allowed for every user. I would we recommend that you start with the paper trade facility, see how the orders are getting placed. Once you're comfortable saying that, okay, the orders are getting executed or the signals are getting processed as per your requirements, whether it is of futures buying or whether it is rollovers or whether it is options trading, options buying or options writing. So check all those things using the paper trade. And once you get a hang of how the platform works, and once you notice that the orders are getting placed through the platform as per your requirements, move on to, you can shift it to live trade as such. Now, when it comes to live trade, there's no limitation. You can have as many live trades as possible. We have not put any cap. But for users, for paper trading, you can test six strategies at any given point in time. We feel that it's quite a large number for anybody wanting to understand how the process works, how the platform works. Now, paper trading is recommended to check the process and understand how the platform works. It is not a tool to be used as a back testing or a forward testing uh, facility as such, because backtesting will always involve testing for a period of, uh, say, 1 year or 2 years kind of historical data. In our platform is not designed for backtesting or forward testing purpose as such. Yes, forward testing you can do in terms of paper trade. You can check all the signals coming in and all the orders that are getting placed and do your analysis. But uh, once you are aware that the orders are getting or signals are getting processed as per the requirement, we don't see any reason why you should continue using for paper trade. You can shift over to the live trade itself. So start with the paper trade and then move into live trade as such. Any queries, please use the Q&A box to type out your message. I will address as we go along. Now, you have flexibility to roll over also. You can also define how many signals you want to trade in a day. If there are, we have seen people or traders or investors who want to take a limited number of trades in a day. Say you can say that, okay, I don't want to take more than 5 signals in any given on a particular day. So if you set 5 as the limit, any signals coming in after the 5 trades, it will not be processed. The system will switch off the strategy which is running once the limit is reached that is set by you. Now, in case if you'd like to take all the trades or all the signals coming in throughout the day, you can do that also. Or if you want to limit it to a particular number, you can do that also. Then if you're an options trader, which would option strategies trader, which would involve multiple legs to be placed based on a single signal, you can do that using a platform. Currently, you will need to create each of those legs individually, and based on a single signal, if there are multiple legs, 2 legs or 3 legs or 5 legs, depending on the strategy that you're trying to run, all of them will be executed in the sequence that you have set as such. Now, there are strategies we have seen that it would involve option buying and option writing also to take care of the margin requirements. You can always do the option buying first and then say option selling after that. While exiting, it can be the reverse of that. Option selling can be closed first, and the option that has been bought can be closed after that. So you can write or define the sequence in which the orders need to be placed when you're wanting to place multi-leg option strategies. Based on the sequence that you would set, we will execute the orders for you. You can get Telegram notifications. It's a simple process. In Telegram, we have a channel called Algomojo bot. All you have to do is get into the channel and then uh, get the channel ID or chart ID and paste it against the strategy in our platform. So whenever there's a signal or whenever there's a order getting placed, you will get a Telegram notification for the same. Any queries? Please feel free to ask them using the Q&A box. Any queries, anybody? For people who have joined in later, we have the session getting recorded. We have just started with a small presentation highlighting the key features of the platform. But the actual usage of the platform, we are not yet started. We will be getting into that shortly. In case if you want to see anything particular, please feel free to let me know. I will try and show those strategies or setups or things that you would things that are of interest for you. Now you can trade in equities. It can be in the equities in the cash segment. It can be intraday or delivery based also. You can trade in futures, indices futures, or it can be stocks futures also. Then you can trade in options. It can be static or dynamic. You can choose which strike price that you want to trade, or dynamically you can choose the ATM, ITM, or OTM strikes to be used. You can choose up to 20 in the money and 20 out of the money strikes as such. So based on what is that you have selected, the orders will be placed accordingly whenever there's a signal coming in. Right. Now we have integrated with close to 28, 29 brokers. This is a list of brokers with whom we have done the API integration as such. Now, in case you have an account with any of these brokers, you can start off using our platform. It's a same broker provided client ID and password that needs to be used, and use that and then start experiencing our platform. We give a 7 days trial for all users to check if the platform meets your kind of trading or investment requirements. Now, in case you find that yes, this platform is able to meet your requirements of trading and investing, you can get into a subscription method. Now, subscription, there are three plans. There are monthly plan and a half yearly plan and a yearly plan. Monthly plan would work out to 1,000 rupees as such, or if you take an annual plan, it will work out to 6,000 rupees per year. 500 rupees per month is what it will come to. Now there is a special offer in case if you open a new account with any of these seven, eight brokers, you get the Algomojo APIs also free of cost. Suppose you don't have an account with any of these, kindly use Algomojo platform as a referral. I'll show you how to access that and open a new account with any of these seven brokers or eight brokers, and you will get to use our platform free of cost for a lifetime as such. So there'll be no additional cost involved at all for uh, using all the features and facilities that Algomojo provides if you open an account with any of these eight brokers. Now, latest addition has been Zerodha. Zerodha used to earlier charge 2,000 rupees per month for their API based trading. They have made that free of cost. So Zerodha is also not charging for the APIs. Of course, if you need data feeds from Zerodha, they charge. They have brought it down to 500 rupees. Earlier, that was also 2,000 rupees. They brought it down to 500 rupees. So these are facilities which are available. Request all users or participants to make use of this facility. Open a new account with Algomojo as a referral and avail the facility free of cost for life as such. Now, when it comes to automation, it's a two-step process. In the first step, we there is a setup that needs to be done in Algomojo, wherein we say that what is that we are planning to trade, and once you define what is that you wanting to trade, you get into the actual charting platform, which can be TradingView or Amibroker or charting kind of or MT4 kind of platforms. And there you have to just create an alert or insert certain codes, and then you're all set for uh, placing orders automatically whenever signals get generated in TradingView or Amibroker or Charting or MT4 kind of platforms as such. Any queries so far? Please use the Q&A box. Okay, now before getting into the actual automation part, let's look at the platform as such. This is our website, algomojo.com. Now, as I was mentioning, for opening a new account as with Algomojo as a referral, kindly use this tab called Open Account. Fill in your name, email ID, phone number, and select the broker with whom you would like to open a new account from this list. LS Blue, Dhan, including Zerodha, Zebu, Upstock, and all. It will take you to the respective broker web page and ask you to provide all the information and documentation for opening an account. Once the account is opened, you will have access to Algomojo also with our APIs defined free for lifetime as such. It's a simple process. The normally broker account opening, new account opening happens in a day or two. Once you have provide all the documentation, it happens pretty fast. So kindly get the broker client ID and password, and then log into Algomojo using the same credentials provided by the broker, and you can start using or getting all the facilities and features which are available in Algomojo for automation of your trades. Now, kindly go through the platform algomojo.com in case you need any further details about our platform. We will get into our platform wherein we'll define what is that we need to trade. So once you have your client ID and password, you can log in to that broker from this page called login. So it'll ask for the broker. From this list, you can select whichever broker that you have the client ID and the password with you. If you already have an account, client, please use that. Or if you open a new account with any of these 8 brokers, get those client ID and password and log in from this page. For today's demo, I'll be using a broker called TradeGenie. So these are the credentials provided by TradeGenie with the client ID, password, and the TOTP. It's the same process, so you need not have to worry about uh, remembering multiple password for different platforms as such. It is the same thing what the broker has provided. You need to use here for login and start trading and investing using our platform. It would look the same for all the brokers. So I'm sorry, I think my audio was muted. What I was trying to say was that use the same client ID and password given by a broker and log into our system. And once you log in, the user interface is the same for all the brokers. So it could be any of the brokers with whom we have got the API integration done. Right. So, you can create watch list and place manual orders from here itself. Suppose you want to buy something in, say, uh, Indus Tower. You can place the orders manually also from here. And in case you have any API orders, that also happens from the same platform. You can carry out all your trading and investment activities from this place, except maybe that adding funds or withdrawing funds or getting any backend reports, you will need to get into your broker webpage. Otherwise, you can do all your activities for trading and investment from this single page. Now, after you open an account, log into this web page, you will see a lot of tabs on the left side. If you go to the first tab called My API, this is where you will be able to get the Algomojo APIs. These are not broker APIs, these are Algomojo APIs. Uh, uh, if you already have an account with uh, any brokers that we had listed. Once you log in, it will ask you to start the trial period. You get 7 days trial period. Kindly use them. Once you click on this start the trial period button, which will appear here, you will get the APIs of Algomojo for 7 days. Now, after the 7 days trial is over, if you want to renew your API, you can do that. These are the plans which are available. Monthly, it will work out to 1,000 rupees, and yearly, it will be about 6,000 rupees. So use these subscription methods to continue your usage in Algomojo. Or if you have opened an account with Algomojo as the referral, then it will show you that it will be free for so many days. 9,000 odd days is remaining in my account, this particular account as such, which is pretty good, valid till about 2050 as such. So you get all facilities, features that are currently available, and going forward, whatever we are going to launch will all be available totally free of cost in our platform. Except maybe, as most of you are aware, that for API-based trading, you will need to have static IPs starting from 1st of October. Now, these static IPs are resources provided by the data centers or the internet service providers. Uh, they are pretty limited in availability, so these are not the static IPs are not provided free of cost. Typically, if you go to any of the telecom providers, we have seen that they charge anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 rupees per month for the static IPs. We are working out with the providers to get a better rate. So we will have those facilities implemented maybe in a week or two, and we will be announcing the cost of the IPs, static IPs, which you will need to subscribe. That is the only requirement in terms of the expense that is involved, that will be involved um, for using our facility. Again, all features and facilities from Algomojo would continue to be free, except that the charges of static IP has to go towards the telecom provider. It is not coming to us. It is going to the telecom providers who will be providing the static IP, right? So this is more of a exchange requirement that any API based order has to have a static IP, and this was supposed to be implemented from 1st of August. They had deferred it till 1st of October. So I suppose from 1st of October, all users will need to have a static IP as such. So that will be a cost which will need to be taken up by all users from 1st of October. So we will have a facility where you can subscribe for the static IP also in a similar manner. So after you open an account with any of those 8 brokers, there's no charge for you. And only thing that you need to take is the static IP at an additional cost. Right. So once you have the APIs from Algomojo, the next step is to define what is that you want to trade. That we do that from this tab called My Strategies. So here, when you click, whatever strategies that you create will always be available for you unless you remove them from the system. So you can create a new strategy. We call this as a strategy because um, this is where we define what is that you want to trade. Now, whether you want to trade in futures, whether you want to trade in options, whether you want to trade in, say, MCX or Sensex or Nifty, all that has to be specified at this place. So we call this also as a strategy for the users, where they will define what is that they're planning to trade. Now, for example, let us start with how to trade, look at how to trade in Nifty futures as such. Give it a name. Sorry. Uh, Once you give a name, each strategy will need to have a unique name. Um, For each instrument that you want to trade, you will need to create a separate strategy. Suppose you want to trade in Nifty, create one strategy. You want to trade in, say, Bank Nifty, you can trade. You need to create one more strategy. For if you want to trade in MCX, you need to create one more strategy. Suppose you want to trade in gold, you want in MCX you want to trade in gold, crude, and say silver. For each of those, you will need to define separate strategies, wherein you select the instrument that you are planning to trade and define what all things need to be done in that strategy as such. Now, here we're going to say that we want to trade in Nifty futures, and we want to trade for personal trades or MIS trade. So those kind of selections will need to be updated here. There's something called a rule. There are 5 types of rule which are defined. These are pretty important to understand. Now, there are rules like long only, short only, long plus short, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover, stop and reverse. Now, what do these mean? I will explain in detail when we look at a chart, which will have these buy-sell signals as such, right? Now, most of you would have used or seen a strategy like super trend. Now, super trend is a very old and pretty popular kind of strategy. Now, if you are having a strategy similar to super trend, in the sense it is always in trade, like it is either long or short. Now, if you're running a strategy which is always in trade like a super trend, use this rule called stop and reverse. Why? How? I will explain when we open a chart and start looking at how things work there. Right. So for now, kindly bear with me. Use this rule called stop and reverse because I'll be showing how to automate super trend strategy in TradingView. For that purpose, I've selected this rule called stop and reverse. Then the next thing to be selected is called the segment, whether you want to trade in cash segment or futures and options or dynamic options, you will need to select that from the drop down. I'll say futures and options. And in terms of trading symbol, if you type out the first few letters of the instrument that you want to trade, you'll get a drop down. Kindly select from this drop down. I'll select Nifty futures contract, September contract. Then order type by default is normal. If you want to change it to MIS, you can do that here. Right. Price is, as of now, we have only market price. We don't have any limit or stop loss limit kind of pricing. We will be launching those going forward. So then in terms of price type, you'll need to make those selections. Otherwise, you can leave it to the default value of market. Then you will need to specify how many lots you want to trade. Suppose you want to trade in say 100 lots, it will also show you the quantity. Now, based on the instrument that you're trying to trade, automatically it will show the quantity also here. So you're clear that, okay, if it is say Bank Nifty 35 into say 100, so 3,500 quantity. So if it is say something like an Adani port, it will show 475 as the lot size for one lot. So kindly select the lot and be sure to look at the quantity displayed also. Once you're clear that, okay, that is the quantity that you want to trade. Uh, the next thing, these are basic things that needs to be updated. Once you say that this is the instrument and this is the quantity and it's a carry forward or intraday trade, you're set as such. Now the rest of the settings are all optional. You need not have to change any of them. There are, in case if your strategy or your study is taking care of target and stop loss, you need not have to select any of those. Or if you want to use our platform to define the target and stop loss, you can do that from here. Now, so targets and stop loss can be set in terms of percentage, points, or in as such. Now, if your strategy itself is taken care of, you can leave the section as such. You need not have to do anything here. And the last section here is in terms of timings, like when do you want to start and when do you want to end, when do you want to square off all those. If you want to trade for the entire day, you can leave it to the default settings. And you can also say that, okay, suppose you don't want to take more than say 5 trades in a day, you can update this to 5, then only 5 trades will be executed. The sixth trade, which will be coming in, will be stopped as such. If you want to take all the signals and trade throughout the day without any limitations, you can set it to 0 by default. And once you have defined these parameters, you can submit. Do a submission of this selection that you've done. So we are saying that we want to trade in Nifty futures for carry forward kind of trades and want to trade in 100 lots. This is what we have set. We have not set any target and stop loss, and which are optional ones. And we have not made any changes in terms of start time and time rollovers, all those things. In case if you want to set a particular time and date for rollover, you can do that also. Expiry time intraday, you can set those expiry time. Otherwise, by default, it will get squared off at 315 and such. So once you make these selections and submit, it will get saved and a webhook URL will be generated for this particular strategy that you are trying to trade. This is a pretty important link that we will be going to use in TradingView, Amibroker, Charting, or any of these platforms to link what is that you want to trade when the signal comes from those platforms. This is the key as such. So this key is related to this strategy. So we will be using this webhook URL generated for this strategy. And if you look below, there are some more details or modules provided which we will be using for integration when we are doing using TradingView. So in TradingView, if you are using a strategy, then this is something that you need to copy and use. If you are using an indicator, this is something that you need to copy and use there for buy, sell, and short and cover kind of things. So all these are provided by the platform. All you have to do is just copy paste them from here onto TradingView or Amibroker or Charting, whichever uh, signal generating platform you're going to use. Any queries on these so far? Anybody? Anything? It can be anything. Feel free to ask any query, any question that you would have about the platform usage, or you want to see anything particular. Use the Q&A box and raise your query. Now, once we have defined these things, we save it and go back. And by default, it will be in an inactive state. You can enable it for live trade or for paper trade. Always start with the paper trade. Um, so, and then test it out. And once the orders are going as per your expectation, you can move to live trade. So you can just toggle between live trade and paper trade like this, right? Okay, we will check the paper trade today for Nifty futures as such. This is all the setting that needs to be done in Algomojo. We are here saying that we want to trade in Nifty futures for positional trading, and the quantity that we want to trade is 100 lots. That's what we have defined here. Now, suppose you want to trade in Bank Nifty or you want to trade in, say, Reliance, you can create multiple strategies as a one-time setup, one-time definition in Algomojo, and do the setup in trading view also, which will again be a one-time setup. After that, you need not have to worry about doing things every day, every time as such. It will be stored and saved for you. All you have to do is come log in the morning, um, and by default, it will be in inactive state. You have to come to my strategies and activate them for paper trade or live trade, right? So once you we suggest that kindly log in as close to market open as such. Don't log in too early in the mornings or in the overnight. Uh, Only log in, say, around 8:30 to 9:15 kind of time frames. The reason being that most of the brokers would be carrying out their maintenance activities during the night hours after the exact markets closes, and they would be ready before the markets open. There's no fixed time for conducting their maintenance activities. It varies depending on the broker, but most of them would have completed the activity by 8:39 kind of before the market open. So try and do it at that point in time after 8:30 to be safe. There are people who have, say, if they're abroad or planning to travel in the morning, they log in at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the mornings. What happens is those sessions which you log in the morning very early will get invalidated, or it'll become invalid towards the market open as such. That's the reason why we suggest that log in as close to market opening time as such. Don't do it earlier. We depend on the brokers to provide the tokens for API trading, and they provide fresh tokens every day. So that is the reason you have to log in every day using Algomojo to obtain fresh tokens for auto placement of orders or for placement of orders from Algomojo. Uh, and those tokens, fresh tokens, will be available after the maintenance activities are done overnight. So once you log in, come to this page and enable the strategies that you want to run or trade for the day as such. So this is all that is required. Now, after you log in and enable the paper trade or live trade, you can close the browser, or even if your internet goes down or power goes down or even your computer crashes, nothing to worry. Since you have logged in the morning and enabled the trades, whenever the signals come from your charting tool, it will still get processed. Only thing that you need to note is that you should not log out from here. If you come here and say log out, then any signals coming in from the charting tools will not get processed. It will be ignored. So kindly log in and suppose you will not be available in front of the system. You can shut down your system or close the browser and leave it at that till the next day. Whatever signals are coming in from your tools, charting tools, we will process those signals and place orders for you. So you need not be sitting in front of your system to take care of order placements as such. So let us then go to trading view and see how do we do setups in trading view. Now, you will need to have subscription of TradingView for order placements, because the free TradingView version does not support the webhook URL for sending signals from TradingView to Algomojo as such. So you need to have the basic subscription at least from TradingView for using our platform for placement of orders automatically. So once you have the subscription, you can start using our platform also. Now, the first step that we always suggest is load the instrument that you want to trade. Let us look at crypto market, because those markets are open today, just to get a live feed. Of course, we will not be able to trade in crypto segment. We will just try and simulate some trades based on the signals that would come from the crypto market as such. Now, first, always select the instrument that you want to trade. We'll check with Bitcoin. This market is open. And then select the time frame that you want to trade. Select 1 minute as a time frame. So first select the instrument and then the time frame, then load the strategy that you want to trade. Now the strategy we'll be using super trend for the demo. I've already loaded that. Just enable that or make it visible. So this is the strategy. So as you can see, super trend is always in trade, either long or short. Right now, if you have a strategy which is similar in nature, not I'm not saying that it has to be super trend, similar in nature, like always in trade, then you have to use the rule called stop and reverse. Why stop and reverse? What happens is, now, suppose when there's a buy signal, you're trading in futures, it will take a long in the Nifty futures, like what we just did the setup. And when the sell comes, it will close the long position or stop the long trade and take the reverse of that. It will take the short of Nifty. So it will take a long of Nifty future here and reverse that to short position. So that is why we say stop and reverse. Stop the long trade and take the reverse of that. That is, take this short trade. So it will keep alternating between long and short. So whenever buy comes, it will go long. Suppose you are trading in options, it will take a CE, and when the sell comes, it will close the CE and take a PE. So it will keep alternating between CE, PE, or long and short. So for such kind of strategies, similar in nature as uh, super trend, always use the rule called stop and reverse. Now, stop and reverse will always be in trade, either long or short. And now, if you are a trader, if you feel that, okay, from Monday or from Monday, the market is going to trend up and you would like to take only long trades and you don't want to take any short trades, then the rule that you will need to select in Algomojo is long only. So what happens is, whenever there's a buy signal coming in, it will take an entry, and when a sell comes, it will close the long trade and not take the reverse trade. So it will wait for the long signals to come in, and when the sell signal comes, the long position taken will be closed and there'll be no new trades. For such kind of requirements, use long only. Or if you want to take only the short trades, there is a rule called short only. Kindly use that as a rule to take only short trades as such. It will not take any long trades. Whenever there's a sell coming in, it will take a short trade and close it when the buy comes. So you have long only, you have short only kind of rule. And if you want to take both the trades, long and short, whenever they appear, there's a rule called long play short, buy sell. So kindly use that. Now, there are strategies which are intermittently in trade. Like what happens is it will take a, say, for example, a long trade here, and maybe there's a target set, it will close the trade here, and there'll be no trade for some time. And after that, another signal will come, which could be a buy or a sell, then again it will get executed, and after some time it could get closed, and for some time there could be no trade. It is intermittently in trade, like either long or short. So if your strategy is similar to that, then you can use a rule called long play short, buy sell. There's another rule called long play short, buy sell, short and cover. Short and cover are normally actions provided in Amibroker kind of environment, mostly in TradingView to be buy and sell. So for buy and sell, for usage in TradingView, use the rule called long play short, buy sell. So if you're using Amibroker, then if it is intermittently in trade, then use long play short, buy sell, short and cover as the rule. Now, if there's any confusion, there is always a small explanation given against each of the rule. If you still need any clarity, you can get in touch with us. We can come online, have a look at the way your strategy is structured visually, and then guide you as to what is the kind of rule that you should be using any point in time. So feel free to get in touch with our team any point in time, and they will help you to identify the correct rule to be used. Right. So once you have selected the instrument and the time frame and the strategy, the next step is to add an alert. The way to do that is just go here and say click on this more button. You will see this three dots. So click on that and say add alert. So it will open a pop-up box. If it's a strategy that you're running, you will have a small pop-up box where you go to this message section, and by default, whatever values are there, select them and delete it. Go to Algomojo. From the strategy that you just created, this is what we just created. Copy this code from here and paste it in the message box. Give it, sorry, I think it did not get copied properly. Let me copy that again. Yeah, it's copied now. Paste it here and give it a name and say uh, NF demo 6th September, and go to notification. By default, whatever is the webhook value, remove that and go to the strategy and pick up this webhook URL and paste it here and say create. That is all are the steps which are required to be done in terms of any strategy that you would be running or having in TradingView for automation purpose. All you have to do is create an alert for the strategy, and in the alert, when you're creating an alert, whatever is the information required to be used is provided by us. So it can be any strategy, any study, um, as long as it is giving buy and sell signals, actions, this is the process to be used. So you can bring in any strategy. There are so many strategies available in TradingView. You can use any of them and do this alert setup. And whenever there's a signal coming in, that signal will be sent to Algomojo, and we will place orders in your broker account. That is all the process involved. Any queries on this? It's simple. So all you have to do is copy paste the message box, copy paste the webhook URL, and both these details are given by us. So we are not getting into what is the code, any changes to be done in the code which is running in the trading view, for which you need some kind of coding or programming knowledge to copy paste or delete certain things, add certain things. Nothing of that sort is involved. All you have to do is just create an alert. For creating an alert, whatever is the content required is given by us, and then uh, you're ready to integrate. Yeah, like when you want to create an alert, all you have to do is go to the strategy that you loaded, click on these three buttons and say add alert. Okay, it will open up this pop-up box. Go to this message box, whatever is the content, just remove that. Okay, from Algomojo, copy this content, go to the strategy under trading view. Under the strategy, you have this thing, copy that and paste it here. Give it a name, any name, and go to notification. By default, if there is something, remove that. And from Algomojo, copy this long webhook URL and paste it here. And say create. That's all is the step required. There's nothing else to be done, provided it is a strategy. Now, if it is an indicator, it will be slightly different process. We will look at that also. If you have any strategy, you can, there are so many free strategies available, or if you have subscribed to some strategies, you're paid for those strategies and you want to automate those signals which are coming from those strategies. This is all the steps that is required. When you click on this add alert, it will based on the pop-up which comes in, you will be able to make out whether it is a strategy or an indicator. Now, how is it different? Let me try and show how it looks for an indicator. Let me load an indicator. Um, use an indicator like RSI. Now, you can bring in any indicator and load them and create an alert for them. So once you load the indicator, go to the three dots and say add alert on RSI. As you can see, this pop-up box is slightly different from what we saw here, right? So what we saw for strategy, yeah. So for strategies, it is a different box. So you all you have to do is, if it is a strategy, you will need to update the message box and the webhook URL. If it is an indicator, then you will need to do something slightly different. So you will need to update what is the condition, whether it is crossing up or crossing down, when you want the trigger to happen, when you want the signal to be sent across to us. Those things needs to be defined, and trigger whether it has to be done once or once per bar or once per bar close or once per minute. You, depending on your requirement, you can set that. Normally, we look at closing of, if we are looking at an RSI kind of thing. If RSI closes below, say 45, you want to take a trade, you can say that, okay, once per bar close. And in the message box, for indicators, you need to use uh, two alerts. For strategies, you need to create one alert. That is always the difference. So for indicators, see, a strategy will always give buy sell kind of thing, whereas an indicator doesn't give you the buy sell as such. So we have to create an alert for one alert for buy and one alert for sell, or one alert for entry. It could be long entry or short entry, and another entry alert for exit. It can be a short or a long exit. That is always required. So if you're in use, there are studies like Supertrend, which are indicators, though they show on the screen as buy sell as such. Um, whereas when you click on this account, add alert, it will open up a pop-up box which will not be like this, but it will be something like this. It will be something like this. So though they say it is a strategy, it will not be a strategy, it will be an indicator, right? So in those kind of cases, you will need to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. Yeah, see, we are shortly releasing a new version, which should have the overall profit lock kind of facility. We expect it to be rolled out in a week or two. We are almost ready, just waiting for the static IP to be finalized and rolled out. So we will have both the systems running maybe in a week or two after that, which could have this overall profit locking kind of facility. So it will look at all your open positions, and if all your open positions have a certain profit or a certain loss, it will close all the positions on the this thing overall basis. Yeah, see, as of now in the platform, we have not yet defined the process as to how to get a static IP. Today, what you see is something like this. When you go to API section, when you see something like this, to get the APIs, you will have a similar kind of facility where you can, it will be available for you to subscribe for the IP also. So that is not yet launched. The new version, which we are going to come out shortly, will have that facility. So we will have a session to explain how to access that also. It will be pretty simple, nothing complex about it. We have tried to keep all the features and facilities as user friendly as possible, and most of the facilities are do it yourself kind of activities. We have kept the user interfaces also pretty simple, so you will have an interface which will be very easy to use and take the IPs as such. Yes. Just wait for it week or two. I think we should be showing it up in our website. No, see, crypto is still not integrated. I'm just using this chart, which is available in uh, TradingView, to just show a demo. So when this buy signal comes, it will trigger an order in Nifty futures paper trade that we are trying to do. But otherwise, you can't trade in crypto as such. Since our Indian markets are closed, to get some live signals to see how the order would get executed, I'm using a market which is open today. Crypto markets are open, as you're aware. So for just for demo purpose, I'm using the crypto chart, but otherwise, there's no facility. Yeah, maybe it will come. It could be down the line. I don't think it is planned for the next 6 months at least. Maybe 6 months to 1 year kind of time frame. We should be able to have facility for crypto and forex also, but not immediate. It will take about 6 months to a year's time at least. Any other queries? So. Anything particular anybody has got to see in TradingView or Amibroker in terms of how to do a setup? I can try and explain that. You can ask using the Q&A box. Can be any query. Now, how to use an indicator to a strategy. Now, using an indicator, you can take an entry and exit. How to do that? We will just let me just show it to you. Now, suppose you have an indicator like this, and say if the RSI goes above a certain level and it starts coming down. Suppose you want to take an entry in PE, for example, and when it goes below, say 20 and starts coming up, you want to close at PE and take a CE. How to do that? We'll look at that now. Now, while we were discussing, you can see that there's a buy signal generated and alert would have got created. As you can see, there's an alert which has come at 11:04. So let us look at what has happened to this alert. So any alerts, any triggers which happen, you can see it under this tab called My Signals. If you go to My Signals, it will show you that there's a signal which has just come at 11:04 and an order has been placed, right? And the position is running for 7,500 quantity. So paper trade is what is active, quantity is 7,500. So as simple as that. So whenever there's a buy coming in, it will get triggered and the orders will get placed for you. So this alert creation is a one-time activity, and the setup to be done in Algomojo is a one-time activity. After that, you need not have to do any changes. All you have to do is in the mornings come and switch on the log into Algomojo and switch on that strategy for paper trade or live trade. And whenever TradingView is sending the signals for buy sell, it will get executed. As you are aware, TradingView is already in cloud, so any alert that you create is always available for you, whether your computer is on or your internet is on or not. Irrespective of all that, once you have created your alert, it is there permanently, almost, right? Um, so once you define the alert, and once you define or you update in Algomojo for live trade or paper trade like this, um, you need not be in front of your system. It can be closed, but don't log out of the browser, wherein in Algomojo browser. Just you can close the browser, you can shut down your computer also. For the entire day, whatever signals come in from TradingView, it will keep getting processed. Now, let us look at one more example as to how to trade using an indicator. We'll take another example. Let's look at how to do that trade using Bank Nifty options, for example. I'll say BN options demo. I'll select a similar rule, swap and reverse. Then I select the segment as dynamic. Then here I'll select the instrument as Bank Nifty. Then expiry, I'll select it for the current one. Then strike price, I'll take it as ITM, say 4. ITM 4. Then option buying, if you're an option writer, you can select option selling. If you want to hedge, you can do those things also. So option buying, MIS or NRML, and keep it as NRML. And price is always market. And I'll say 100 lots, quantity will be 3,500. So once I have all this in place, all we have to do is just do a submit. The webhook URL will be created for this, which we'll use in TradingView. Then for indicators, we have to go to indicator section here and use these codes. Now we'll copy the sell code because the RSI has gone up, and when it comes to a value of 60, we want to take, say, P, for example. So we'll create that alert here. We'll just say add alert on the indicator, and we'll say that if the RSI is crossing down a value of 60, yeah, and if the RSI bar closes, we want the trigger to happen for a sell. So under this message box, we will paste this code called sell. We will say BN entry short, for example, and use update the webhook URL. We'll go and copy it from here. Let me enable this for paper trade and paste the webhook URL here. So we are given a name, we have put the action, and we have put the webhook URL, and we just say create. When you do that, you can see that level on the screen also. You have a dotted line with a right pointing arrow. So this is at 60. So this is the alert that we have just created. So you can, this is again one time. If you want to make it say 75, you can drag it up and leave it at whatever level you want to trade, or you can edit it from here and make this 80. So it is pretty dynamic. Either you do it on the screen itself, or you can change the values here also. And it is one-time setup. You just save. So RSI is currently around 9,900. When it drops down below 80, it will trigger a sell order. Now, when it comes down and starts going up from 20 onwards, we want the PE to be closed. So PE will be taken here. We want the PE to be closed and the CE to be taken. For that, we will take one more alert. All you have to do is the alert which you just created, go here, right click, and say clone. It will copy the entire thing and make a duplicate of that. We'll just need to go and edit it, saying that instead of crossing down, we will say crossing up a value of 20, for example, or say 25. And in the message box, instead of sell, we will define this as buy. And instead of Short, we will say this as long. And webbook URL will remain the same because we are trying to trade in Bank Nifty itself. So in terms of settings, we have set that crossing up a value of 20, 25. So PE which is taken when the RSI closes below 80. If when the RSI goes below 20 and starts coming up, we want that PE to be closed and a CE to be triggered is what we are trying to create now. So we have set that crossing up a value of 25. Once the bar closes, we want a buy signal to be generated and sent across to this webbook URL, and we just say save. That's it. So you have two alerts for indicators. You'll have two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. That is all is the process involved when you're using a indicator. So as you can see, there are two dotted lines, one at the top, one at the bottom. The pointing arrows to the right, you will be able to make out the uh, alerts that you have just created. So again, you want to drop it out, carry it up or carry it down, you can do it on the screen itself, or you can change the values from here also. Instead of 25, say, make this as say 22 and save. Based on your requirement, you can keep shifting it. So not an issue. So for indicators, you have to create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit, one for long or one for short, depending on the requirement. Yeah, yes, my name is Lokesh. I'm part of Algomojo. Yes. See, when you are using, when you want to use two indicators or multiple indicators, it can be many indicators, RSI, CCI, MACD, all that. You have to check for conditions of each of those indicators. Then what you need to do is get a special coding done. It can't be done like what we did for a single indicator on the screen itself. When it involves multiple indicators, you have to get that coded in Spine script and then load that strategy in TradingView and then start trading. But it can be done if you want to use MACD and RSI, and if you want say specify that it's MACD is at a certain value and RSI if it is at a certain value, you want a buy to be taken or a sell to be taken, it will work. It can be done. It can need not be restricted to only two. It can have as many indicators as possible. If you want to check, say, volume along with the MACD and RSI, that's also possible. Yeah, Python we have not covered. However, I'll just show you an article. It's a pretty simple process. We can have a look at that. Yeah, Uh, I'll show you how to use the Python API code using Algomojo. So while we were looking at it, as you can see, RSI has dropped. So let us see if the trigger has enabled. As you can see, BE short, Bank Nifty short entry has been triggered. So we can look at what has happened to that order. Go to my signals and go to the signal section and select this Bank Nifty options. You can see that sell signal has come, and this is the order which has got placed for the PE. We had selected, I think, item 4 of item, yeah, item 4. So the PE of 54,500, 3,500 quantity is triggered. So it's that simple a process as such. So for indicators, when you're using, you will need to use two alerts. So now when the if the RSI goes below 20 and starts coming up, what will happen is it will close that PE, the long entry will be triggered. So it will close the PE and take the CE, and it can keep running for you, right? Any queries on this? So uh, technical portion with Algomojo. It depends on what exactly you're looking at. If you are a programmer, see, we are more into development of the platforms as such. Yes, we do keep looking at resources for development activities in case if you'd like to explore some things with us in terms of position, you can send your details to my email ID. I will share it with you towards the end. You can try and share your requirement or position that you are expecting, or you can share your um, qualifications, your CV. We can try and see if we have any placements that can be looked at. Uh, we keep looking at resources. Yes. Yeah. Somebody was asking about Python. So if you go to our blog in Algomojo, um, and refer to this article, how to create signal using Python library, how to place orders via webhook URL using Python. Kindly have a look at these articles. They guide you as to how to use our platform and generate signals or run it using your Python script as such. Yes, I will be sharing my email ID and the towards the end of the session. So there are quite a few articles on based on Python. Request you to kindly go through them and see what is that you're looking at. So Python multi-broker library for Algomojo, then how to place order via webhook URL using Python. These are some of the things that we have defined or explained in our blog. So yeah, this is Algomojo blog in our homepage. You go to this section called blog, visit blogs. You will get almost all features, how to do the setup or explain. You will find the explanation of all the features almost here in our blog. And also there's a section in our website itself. If you go to this API section, if you want to use the API version 1, it will give you details about how to place an order, for example, mm, what is the JSON to be used, what is the response you'll get. All those explanations are provided here. You can go to this section here, Algomojo. If you see this API tab, you'll be able to, it'll take you to this page. Go to this version 1, and you have the entire library here. Whichever library you would like to check it out, you can have a look at them. Yeah. Yeah. Any other queries on TradingView? Okay. And let us look at, say, Amibroker. For example, you have a strategy, say, in Amibroker. All you have to do is load your strategy. Let me try and load a strategy. So this is a strategy called Wheel Intra. This is similar in nature like your super trend, always in trade, either long or short. So whenever long is coming in, you have to take a long in futures or a CE purchase. And whenever short is coming, you want a PE to be bought. And here you want a PE to be closed and a CE to be bought. So it can keep running for you. All you have to do is have a good strategy which you have back tested and you want to run it in any instrument that you want to use. It could be Nifty futures or options or Bank Nifty or even stock futures. All you have to do is the process is very similar. In Algomojo, like what we defined, what is that we want to trade? Yeah, yeah. So, say for example, you want to trade in Nifty futures. Um, go to the strategy here. Let me try and close this. So you copy this webbook here. Before that, you will need to load certain modules. So if you go to Amibroker section, there are these codes or modules that you will need to add, you can either save them as in AFL and drag and drop, or you can copy this and paste it, for example, paste it in the Amibroker code itself here, for example. Open this code, go down and paste it here and save this. Come to parameters, you will see this section called order execution. That webhook URL, we need to just paste it here. Sorry, I think that was not copied properly. Let me go to Algomojo. So this webhook URL we'll need to copy and yeah, paste it here and enable for thread. So whenever you get a signal, for example, this is fourth. Let me try and paste a bar replay and try and see if we get some signal. Trying to do a bar replay. Let's see if we get a by signal. You will be able to see it here.
Signal generated.
As you can see, you have a signal, short signal, which has been generated. Okay. Now the order has been sent, but it has got rejected because we have not enabled the paper trade alive trade. So here, you'll be able to make out from here also. You can see from here also that since we had not enabled live trade or paper trade, we had shut this thing down. We will look at my signals, and for Nifty, it has got rejected because we had not enabled paper trade or live trade. We need to enable that. Let's check paper trade. Let me start this again.
Signal generated.
As you can see, the order has been placed for a short. Response has been successful. Since we are doing a paper trade, you can see here under my signals. So there's a sell signal which has come, status is completed. You can see that the order has been placed for sell and there's a short position running. So um, in the against with your strategy that you're trying to roll, the necessary module need to be just dragged and dropped onto that strategy, or you can copy paste onto that code itself. You will get this section where you have to update with the webhook URL and enable the algo mode. That is all. So you can have any strategy in running in Amibroker, and you want to want the orders to be placed whenever there's a signal coming in. It's a simple process. Just download that module and then uh, signal will get processed and order will get placed. That's it. Yeah, we are using Amibroker. And you have a ready-made strategy which you've tested and tried and you want to automate, this is the step involved. Just load the necessary module. The module is nothing but this. It's pretty similar to the rule that we have. For Amibroker, you have long only. If you are using long only, if you want to do only long trades, copy this code and paste it. If it is short only, use this. If it is long plus short, use this. And stop and reverse, you can use this. You can also do a button trade. If you want to use a button for generating orders manually as a discretionary trader, you can copy this and update the webhook URL in Amibroker. The parameters shown will be the same. Under the parameters, you'll be able to see this same order control. So update the webhook URL, you will get the 4 buttons for buy, sell, buy entry, buy exit, sell entry, and sell exit. And when you click on those buttons, the order can get executed for you. Anything else you'd like to see in Amibroker? Let me know. The setup to be done for Amibroker is very simple. All you have to do is save these codes, the rules as AFLs. This can be saved as AFLs. Done a similar thing if you see, go to my charts, Algomojo. So you have this long plus short module. All I can do is just do a drag and drop. I have an Algomo button execution module. Using that also I can do. Let me try and stop this. I can get a price chart, for example. On this, load the button execution module. So the module is loaded. We have to update, enable this and update the webhook URL. I'll copy that webhook URL from here. Say, okay, suppose you are looking at the price and you want to place an order. A short entry was taken. Suppose you want to exit that, you can say
Signal generated.
So you click on this short exit, the order will get closed. We had taken a short entry. Let's look at what has happened to that signal. So sell was taken, cover has been initiated manually, and that portion has got closed. And this order has come from TradingView. One more order. Let me try and stop. So in Amibroker, suppose you want to take a long entry, just say buy
Signal
entry.
generated.
It has generated a buy entry. This is buy entry, buy exit, short entry, short exit. So it generated a buy signal. Yeah, buy order has been placed and the position is open. Nifty is 7,500 quantity. Suppose you want to exit this from the chart, you're looking at the chart and you feel that, okay, you have to take an exit. Just
Signal generated.
on the buy exit, it will close the position. Since we had said stop and reverse, it has taken the reverse position. Otherwise, it will take, if you had used only long plus short, then it will close the position for you. Anything else you would like to see in Amibroker? See, Bell TPO is a they provide market profile kind of. They provide market profile order your studies for market profile and order flow kind of studies, which are more for your discretionary kind of trading. Uh, we have not integrated with Bell TPO as such. Ninja Trader, yes, there's a button trading available as such, but not with Bell TPO. Uh, Ninja Trader, if you're using, you can try a button trading from Ninja Trader, but not through Bell TPO as of now. No, go charting also is not done as of now. Any other things anybody would like to know on Amibroker or in trading? Feel free to ask any query. There are people who use trend lines or those kind of studies. You can say, for example, you have a trend line like this, and if the price crosses above the breaks out above the trend line you would like to take an entry, that can also be done. All you have to do is put in your drawing. It can be any kind of study. Right click on that and say that if the price is crossing up, you want to take an entry. If the price closes above, suppose if it is a buy, then you have to update this with the same similar kind of buy code from Algomojo. Go to my strategies, pick up this code under indicators, buy code, and paste it here. And in terms of notes, give a name and webhook URL you can create depending on what you're trying to create, whether it is Nifty or Bank Nifty or MCX, gold, silver, anything that you're trying to trade. Pick up that webhook URL and paste it here. So whenever the price breaks out, it will trigger a long entry. Similarly, if you are wanting to take a short kind of trade and you have a trend line breakdown, so you can do a similar thing. Put in your drawing here, right click on that, and in the message, you put the sell action. Instead of buy action, you put the sell action. So when there's a price breakdown, it will take a sell entry, short entry. It can be in futures, it can be in options. So if it's an option, it will take a P. If it's in a future, it will take a short position in futures. So you can use indicators, price-based action. Suppose this is the resistance and you want to short here if the price goes up and starts coming down, you can do that also. All you have to do is identify the level where you want to take an entry. So place your study there and say right click on the horizontal line. And if you say that if the price goes up and starts coming down, take a short entry, say crossing down, go to this message box and update the action as sell. So if the price goes above this level and starts coming down and the bar closes below that, it will trigger a short entry. So you can use trend line, you can use horizontal lines, resistance, um, support kind of levels can be put on the chart, and these are pretty dynamic. You have to create it once, and after that, you have to, if you want to make any changes, say if you want to shift this to a higher level, you can do that. The values will get automatically. So only price when it comes to that level, it will trigger the order for you. So all these are one-time creations and the alerts are always available for you. You can either disable them or pause them for some time, or you can delete them. Suppose you don't want to take any trades on Monday, all you have to do is just say pause. So it will not take any entries, even if the conditions are met on Monday. So you have very, very useful features available in TradingView in terms for the studies or the alerts that you create. There are so many free studies available, so many free strategies available. You can code your own strategies in PineScript using multiple indicators, multiple studies, multi-time frame kind of studies. Suppose you say that, okay, if the hourly time frame is in long and you get a long entry in a 5 minute time frame, only then the entry has to be taken. Those kind of things are available in TradingView. It depends on uh, how you get the coding done in PineScript. And once you do the setup, get the coding done and do a alert creation, the job becomes pretty simple. You just create an alert in TradingView once, create what is that you want to trade in Algomojo once. After that, you without any interference, the orders can keep or the signals can get processed whenever they're generated automatically for you. Sorry. Any queries? Anybody else would like to look at anything particular in TradingView or Amibroker, kindly let me know. I'll be able to let me try and show it for you, explain it for you. So the advantage is that we are a bridge provider, and you can bring in any kind of study, any chart, or any tool that which generates your signals. Using that, you will be able to uh, take positions from the charts whenever they are uh, generating the signals as such. Um, if you ask me whether it is C++, I'm not aware. I'm not from the development team. I think uh, at the back end, maybe yes. I'm not sure what is the language, programming language that they use. Development is handled by a different team. I'm part of the operations team. That you're using, you can select the necessary condition, and after that, it will get whenever the condition is met, the alert will be triggered and the orders will be processed. So there are various ready-made option strategies. In case if you'd like to do a setup, we have given a detailed explanation as to how to do each of these strategies in our platform. Kindly go through the blog, and it will help you to do the setup. Suppose you want to do a long iron conda, what are the steps involved in creating an iron conda, and how to trigger them is explained in the blog. Coming to our support, we are open on all working days from 9 to 5 and on Saturdays from 10 to 5. You can contact us using WhatsApp. This is our WhatsApp number 81055 72233. Or you can call our support number on 8550 828 828. Or you can raise a ticket from the platform, or you can write us an email. We are available for you to assist in terms of any kind of requirement in you would have in terms of automation, in terms of any if you need any explanation, if you want help, assistance in terms of doing these setups in TradingView or Amibroker, we can help you out a couple of times. After that, it's a simple process you have to follow in terms of doing it for multiple instruments or multiple strategies. It's more of plug and play kind of thing. You'll be able to do it on your own. If you need any help, we are there to help you out. We are there to assist you. Feel free to contact us anytime through any of these methods. Yeah, my name is Lokesh. This is my email ID. In case if you have any coding to be done either in PineScript or for Amibroker, we do take up those activities. Send your requirements to this ID, Lokesh at finfolab.com. We could check the feasibility and come back to you in terms of whether it's possible, not possible, how much effort is involved, and what will be the cost. We will be able to provide in the email. This is a blog. In case you have any queries, do let me know. Okay. In case there are no other queries, we can conclude the session. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Have a nice weekend, and do get in touch with us anytime for any kind of assistance you would require in terms of using our platform. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much.